Hello, it's John from Hope Junction. Today we are at Leyburn station and we'll be travelling on the Wensleydale Railway. We'll be going that way towards Leeming Bar, and then this way takes you to Redmire, and obviously after that it's Aidesgarth station, what we visited the other day, and then past that is Hawes, and then Hawes Junction. So we're heading east today. We'll be going up to Ringling Hall, and there'll be Leeming Bar and obviously Bedale station. We won't be going far at Scrouton today, or Scrouton, but you can go up to there, because this used to be the branch line what came from North Allington straight through to Hawes Junction, and so we'll be travelling this line today. They don't run up to Redmire yet due to the infrastructure on the railway, due to the condition of the rails, so they're doing an appeal to replace sleepers and some of the rails, so they can provide service once again back at Redmire. So obviously, if you haven't visited the railway, please visit. We want your support, and you can donate online for their sleeper and rail donation to once again provide a service up to Redmire. So let's enjoy the day on the railway. We're going to do now, we're going to go into the ticket office here at Leyburn station and meet a lovely man, Chris, who's going to just tell us a bit about the railway, and obviously about his dad who worked on the railway as an engine driver. So there's a lot of history of his family and the railway here on this branch line, because they come from Leyburn. So what we do, we'll go inside and meet Chris. Okay, so today we're at the Wensleydale Railway and visiting it for the day, as we're up here on holiday, and we met this lovely chap, Chris, at the Leyburn station, and he's going to just tell us a bit about the railway. So what about the history of the railway then, please, Chris?
Okay, right. Well, when it was part of the national network, in fact it still is, but when it was running fully, it ran between the East Coast Main Line at Northallerton,
yep,
and the Shetland Carlisle line at Garsdale.
Okay.
The railway closed to passenger traffic even prior to beaching.
Okay.
It closed about 1954 to passengers all the way through. Freight traffic lasted a bit longer. I think up to Hawes it lasted till about the mid-60s, and thereafter all the line west of Redmire was lifted.
Okay.
And the track bed was sold off to various landowners.
Yeah.
Freight traffic continued up to Redmire until about 1970, something like that. And then basically the line closed, apart from 2 mineral trains a day, because there's a big limestone quarry at Redmire. Okay. And they used to take that limestone to steelworks on the Teesside. So that happened, that went on until the early 90s. When Wensleydale Railway Association was formed in 1990 with the object of restoring the line all the way from Northallerton right through to Garsdale. But being realistic and financial worries and everything else, that never happened. Yeah. And at the moment, the line, we have metal running still between the East Coast Main Line at Northallerton to Redmire. Yeah. At the moment, we're only running passenger trains between Leeming Bar and Leyburn, but hopefully we'll be back to running up to Redmire. We are still open to the East Coast Main Line, just north of Northallerton. We don't run into Northallerton Station, but there's a loop which takes you through, so we can get excursion trains in. Yeah. We haven't had one for a while. No. The railway only stayed open, it is still part of the National Rail Network, but when Network Rail were going to close it, the Ministry of Defence stepped in. Okay. And they wanted to have the facility to bring armoured fighting vehicles and things up to Redmire, where they could then transport them over to Catterick Garrison. Yeah. So the Ministry of Defence actually built an unloading ramp at Redmire. Yeah. So we can get flatbed trucks in, and we used to get regular military trains, but we haven't had one now for 4 or 5 years. Yeah. but the facility is still there,
to do it.
and we are therefore still part of the national network.
Okay,
Although we're a heritage line as well,
oh, that's good.
and
That's
we're
good.
a long heritage line if you think about it.
Yeah, how long is the line?
Northallerton Junction to Redmire is 22 miles.
So it's quite a long line then. So you're getting on like North Yorkshire Moors Railway. It's getting on.
It is very similar,
Yeah,
especially now North York Moors run into Whitby.
yeah.
Although they don't own some of that time,
No.
they're running over network rails.
Yeah. So that's,
Do you want my history?
well, but you said you got your family history of your dad on the railway. So yeah, please enlighten us with that, Chris.
Yeah, my dad was born in Leyburn because his father was a driver on the line working for the North Eastern Railways. It wasn't then. And because his dad was based in Leyburn,
Yeah.
where there used to be an engine shed.
Yeah.
We had a shed. So I can trace my history in the railway going back to about 1850. But
Wow.
then I broke the mould and went off to university and did something else, and now I'm back
Yeah. Well,
as a volunteer
it's good to
on
see.
the Wensleydale Railway.
That's good to see.
There you go.
Yeah. Also, just a quick question. You mentioned to me about Aysgarth Station and the situation with that. Can you just
Yes, the railway used to own Aysgarth Station, but because of financial worries, we had to sell it.
Yeah.
And it's now owned by a man called Mr. Smith, who has put it back. He's put the original track layout back as it was when it was an operating station.
Yeah.
But as I say, one of our original visions was we'd get back to Aysgarth and beyond. But it's unlikely to happen.
Yeah. So it's these little private little railways then.
Unless the government step in and decide they're going to put in billions to restore
Yeah.
the railway as it was.
Yeah. Lovely.
How's
Well,
that?
that's lovely, Chris. Well, thanks for your time. Appreciate
You're
that.
welcome. Yeah.
Yeah. You'd have a good day. Take
Yeah.
care. Thanks.
You could also go down to Scruton, which is a little country station that's been restored. The train times are not the best because you either get 10 minutes there or an hour and 10 minutes. So one option is to go down to Leeming Bar and back, in which case you'll be back here by 5 to 2. Another option is to go down to Leeming Bar. You get quarter of an hour at Leeming Bar, and that station house has been restored as well, as it was in about 1920, something like that. Get off at Bedale, have a bite of lunch or a bit of shopping or whatever, and then you've got a couple of hours and catch the last train back up the line. You'll be back here by 3:30. So you can either go down and back, down, back, get off at Bedale, catch the last train back, or you can go to Scruton, and the timetable isn't particularly helpful because Scruton's a little country station. There's not a lot there. You've either got 10 minutes or an hour and 10 minutes. And if you do the hour and 10 minutes, you'd miss this train coming back. You'd have to wait for that one. So you're hanging around at Leeming Bar for best part of that. There isn't, to be honest, Leeming Bar station house has also been restored, but an hour and a couple of hours there is too long. So pays your money and he takes your choice.
You're really selling it.
So the train that's taken us today to Leeming Bar is a Pacer 55710. This will be taking us to Leeming Bar. As you know, some of my videos are more steam based because that is my preferred preference of loco, steam locomotives. I don't mind a few diesels, but steam is my passion, I suppose. And so with my model railway at Hyde Junction is mostly steam on the layout with a mixture of diesel. But for me today, it's not just about the loco, it's just about the train journey, the scenery, and enjoying the day and just looking at old traditional country branch lines here on the Wensleydale Railway. So what I'm going to do is jump on board and get myself seated ready for the journey up to Leeming Bar. The old engine driver will be sitting in here take us up to Leeming Bar. That would be his view, going up the line, heading up towards Northallerton, but also we'll be stopping at Leeming Bar.
Where are you going then? It's kind of so when we get to Redmire, we'll be found on the 6 But actually I quite like that view. It's nice. Quite nice, yeah. Just across the canyon. Had to come down here, the road was closed at 8 hours.
We're now arrived at Leeming Bar. This is the headquarters of the Wensleydale Railway, and where all their engine sheds. You see the, if I can zoom in, just over there is the MPD at Leeming Bar. So I keep saying Leeming Bar. So that's all the maintenance and all the storing the locos, and all the offices are here at Leeming Bar. This is the pacer we went on earlier, and if we just pan down here, there we got nice class 37 sitting there as well, and this over the back, just over there is the A1 runs along there. So as you can see, the vehicles in the distance running over the flyover, what we just pass under to get here at the station at Bedale. I mean Leeming Bar. So we'll have a wander up the station and get back on the pacer to head back to Bedale. Well, the other pacers came in. That's going to Scruton. Further down the line, there's the little country station. You can have a look around there and dress in period costume. This is the Leeming Bar station. And you can see a little coach tour people there having a little discussion about the station here at Leeming Bar. There's a station office here, the old period typewriter, parcels, all the paraphernalia would have been back at the time. If you turn the clock back 70 years ago. Right, so look around here, and you see an old black and white photograph. The old station porter master here at Leeming Bar. That's the front of the station here at Leeming Bar. Really nice. The poster's still up as well. While we're in Bedale, I thought we'd have lunch here at the Green Dragon. Good bar snacks and meals, and good ale as well. So if you're visiting the railway, you can stop here in the centre of Bedale marketplace, the church in the distance there, and that way to Northallerton. So nice little lunch stop. We just jump off the train at Bedale, head to the marketplace, the main town centre, and visit the Green Dragon for fine food and a good pint. Well, we're heading across the river back towards the station, and my wife just pointed this out. I thought there's an old pump house for from the river, but it's not. Just done a research, and you'd be very surprised, but that is an old leech house built in the Georgian times to keep live leeches in, because back then leeches were used for medicinal purposes, for bloodletting, to cure you of any disease or sickness. So it was used for medicinal purpose. So there is Georgian leech house. Well, you've seen it all. So we're now going to head back up the road and there's a level crossing. And the station's just to the right of the level crossing there, so we can go back on the pacer and go back to Leyburn and get off again. So it's been a nice day out here on the railway, Wensleydale Railway. Nice look round Bedale, nice old traditional market town, and a nice lunch at the Green Dragon in Bedale. So I'm going to make my way now up to the railway station and back on the train. Should be departing Bedale at 3 o'clock, and we'll be back at Leyburn at 3:30. So it's been great. So we'll catch you later on. Well, this is the signal box at Bedale. So it operates the signal, and plus also he closes the gates for the traffic going through the town of Bedale. So it's only one signal, you can see there.
The road was closed, eh?